right? You can see the street?
Yes, sir.
This is the main street, not the one we came up from. The meeting point was somewhere here. Again, the one we came up from is mostly dismantled. And you can see it continues and continues and it continues, and the excavation still has more to go. If they continue, they should reach the southernmost gate. The problem is, that's where there's a modern street. So somewhere this will bump together. Above us, there's at least 5 meters of building. Okay, so this is very, very deep down below in the valley that got covered up with so many ages of filling. So they were able to do this in excavation and actually digging, supporting every meter or so with these steel beams and later on the steel arches. Actually, they first did the arches and then the beams, but okay. And the decision here is not to continue much more because that's where it will get much more difficult. So why bother at the moment? Especially because the street will need to take it apart. And it's actually kind of major street in this neighborhood, a little bit difficult to take it apart. So this is the main street, which means again, if we continue here, we will get to the southern gate of the city. And what passes underneath us is the main drainage channel of Jerusalem. It passes underneath us. So when you walked it with Asher, right, remember? Yeah. Very long and annoying walk. I know.
It's under this one.
The first one that was very muddy.
We were under.
Okay, that's underneath.
With the broken steps, every other step is broken.
In the beginning, yes, and then yes. Okay, that's there, and then the drainage. If you can look just beyond where Moaz is standing, you can see there's a little slab in the floor that has cuts in it. That is a manhole or a manhole cover, or actually, right? This is an ancient manhole cover. And you can open it up and go into the drainage channel below. It gets cut. These slits rock, so when rainwater flows, it can go in. Very nicely done 2,000 years ago. Now we need to tell you why this is needed. Imagine the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. What do streets look like? They're made out of dirt. Just dirt. When it rains, it becomes muddy, and that's it. Now we get to the Hellenistic and much more the Roman period, when they decided that streets need to be floor tiled. Now, most of the rain doesn't get absorbed anymore, it just flows. So what do I need to do? I need to make drainage systems. So, in addition to making the roads a little bit oval, so we'll have funnels on the side, we need drainage channels underneath, because if not, the streets will get flowing and full of water. Has anyone been to Pompeii or Herculaneum? Pompeii. So when you walk there, you notice that between the sidewalk and the bottom of the street, the steps are this big. Why? Because it got full of mud and garbage. Yeah, it got full of mud and garbage because everything was nice and leveled. If you'll make everything nice and slanted, it will flow, and we don't need so big a difference as you'll see in a moment. This is from the same time as Pompeii. Exactly the same time. Which means when people walk those streets with their legs, yes, up to here in garbage, this thing flows. All you need to do is make it a little bit angled, or build the city in a slope, as Jerusalem is on a hill, unlike other ancient Roman cities that didn't have this. So we're talking about floor tiles and pavement, and in addition, sewage and drainage. I'm saying sewage and drainage many times. These are two separate systems. Sewage goes out in one side, drainage goes out in a different one, and we can use them separately. If you interfere with them as we do today, stupid modern people, we can't take good advantage of the drainage. Today everything goes in the same way. Okay, so that's the street, but you're missing part of the street. It continues. This building is from around the year 100. Which means about 30, 40 years after the destruction of the Second Temple. Someone built a huge building, they didn't even find its edges yet, a huge building directly on the street, which means eating up a portion of it. Why? We have no idea. For what? We don't know. But here we can see the street is starting to be limited, eaten up, and then with time, it just disappears. It gets covered up and disappears. The portion here, apparently the floor tiles were taken, actually in modern times, not in ancient times. We have evidence from the beginning of the 20th century of an open excavation where they found floor tiles, and they were taken for building somewhere in the old city. We're still looking for those slabs of stone somewhere. But they found, it's in the newspaper from 1919 of an open excavation where it was found. So apparently there were more here, and they were taken away. But this is the street. You can see it. You can see how wide and big it is. And this teaches us that many people walk. And I say walk, what was the direction of walking?
Upward.
Okay, if I entered the city at the southern point, I'm going uphill. Pilgrimage in Hebrew, the term is aliyah regel. Aliyah meaning going up, regel, foot or leg, which means walking uphill using your own 2 feet. No one said it's easy. It's a physical ascent that hopefully is also supposed to become a spiritual one. With the parade, doesn't matter what festival it is, with all the people gathering together, with their sacrifices, with their donations, with the food they're carrying for a festival meal, all going up. So the Mishnah asks, who has to do this? Who has to be at the Temple Mount and the festivals and offer a sacrifice? The answer is, everyone has to do it. The next word is, except. And then there's a list of exceptions. I'll make this list very simple.
Gentiles, non-impure Jews.
Wait. You're going to the edge. I'm going to the easy ones. People that cannot walk up with their own 2 feet. It's an uphill march. What? Handicapped. Or people that are injured in some way. Elderly people. Young people. Women. No, women. In general. Which means about 75% of the population don't have to. Right? The moment elderly, children, and women don't have to, right? So about 75% of the population. So why does the sentence start with everyone has to come? And in the next sentence, they actually prove us that barely anyone has to come. That's really weird of a way of teaching. But then they have a very weird question. From what age is a child not considered a minor anymore? The easy answer would be what everyone answers when I ask this, and it works every time, and it's wrong. 12 or 13. No, that's not the answer. Okay.
Hillel and Shammai.
You're right. Very good.
Shammai said that the child, that the father has to be strong enough to carry the child. And then Hillel, I just read the notes from Moshe. Hillel said that the child has to be old enough to carry himself up.
Okay. So, does someone lean on something?
No. No.
Stop down. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 options in the Mishnah. One saying that a child that can sit on his father's shoulders has to be taken here. The child isn't doing anything. From what age can a child sit? 3. My children at 6, 7 months all sat down, all 6 of them. Okay? Which means an 8 months old, a year-old child, I have to bring him. What does this child drink?
Milk.
What milk?
Mother's milk.
Mother's milk. So you think the mother will stay at home when I take the child? Of course not. The mother will come. Do you think I'll leave my 2 older daughters at home on their own? No. The elderly grandmother? No. Which means everyone actually comes, even though strictly not really everyone has to. But in reality, full families can. That's using one opinion. The other opinion says that a child needs to walk on his own, which means he needs to be, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years old. Still hard to believe the mother will let her child go on his own to Jerusalem, and everyone will join, which means the parade is a family issue. Everyone's coming. It's a very, very slow march. And you're not alone. There are hundreds, thousands of other people doing the same walk at the same time. So it's a nice walk uphill.